Back in the days in Jamaica, you know, that was a big topic.
Of course.
Say, all of them man, them when a bow, put up your hand, even when every bow cat, be a bow cat, never dance, them still put up them hand. Yes. Na 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 na. Still have the voice. If you can sing a song in the studio and you're not good on stage, you're not good on stage, and you can't be the dancehall king for me. You can't say it is dancehall if you can't dance. We actually started calling the music dancehall is because we could dance to it.
SK Vibemaker.
SK Vibemaker. My interviews are hotter. You know we bring through the best special guests. We are not changing tradition anytime soon. We have a veteran of the Reggae Dancehall fraternity in the building today. His name is Mr. Vegas. He's here.
Yes,
How you doing today?
They are not cool. I'm here, man, in the cold England.
I'm sure you've been to London quite a few times. You must be used to this, right?
No, I'll never get used to this weather, man.
Have you ever came here when it's hot?
Yeah. I remember when 2 summers ago, we were here, did a few shows here. It was pretty hot.
Before the mics and the cameras started rolling today, Vegas was serenading us with some sweet vocals, man.
That's vocal warm-up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Them vocals are still on point.
Yes,
Of course.
Yes, I. Try to take care of the vocals. If you notice, I was warming up even before speaking, because I had to do a vocal surgery last year.
Damn.
To remove a polyp from my vocal cord. So I've learned to warm my vocals up even before speaking. Yeah, it's very important because we have done so much damage to the vocal cords by just shouting and screaming on stage and singing in high keys without warming up.
So what kind of recommendations do you have for maybe, new artists in the game to maybe preserve them vocals nice and early so they don't have to go through that? Prevention rather than cure, maybe.
I think smoking, drinking, some of those stuff can be really detrimental to the vocal box. But it's just the way how we sing, the way how we project our voices. So I just think just like simple vocal exercise, just to warm the vocals up before you go on stage.
Straight up.
Because I've noticed a lot of singers when they get to my age and older, or even before, their vocal starts to deteriorate. You can hear the hoarseness when they're singing. They can't take those notes again and stuff like that. So it's important to start preserving the vocals from early.
30 years in the game, around that amount of time. When I was a young'un, your music was very much a soundtrack to my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How does Mr. Vegas feel so far deep in the game, so many years, decades, consistency, reigning supreme, impact? How do you feel like now in this era?
It's a blessing. I'm 3 years short of 3 decades, so it's a blessing. It's not many artists' career, can stand up to that amount of time or that, longevity. So it's a blessing. I guess I've worked with great producers. I've been able to put forward music that people still enjoy today. Yeah, like I Am Blessed and them tunes, still plays and still rock the party. Gallus and them tunes, So I was just
a little further back than that, man.
Right. Heads Eye, all of them.
Of
Nike
course.
Here,
Yes.
When they drop, they just still drops hard.
Jacket,
hard
Position, all of them tunes
in the dance. And how I know these songs are real, classics, is me trying to re-record these songs. 27, 25 years later, some 20 years later, and going into the studio and realize, wow, these producers were geniuses, and the way we were able to fit these songs on the beats, because I'm redoing the Heads Eye album, to own the master, because for the Heads Eye album, it was like other producers, we collected the tracks from the producer, so they still own the master, with myself on some of the tracks. But now to exclusively own the masters, I have to redo all the tracks, Heads Eye. So I have to be using basically the same sound, the same vocal sound, to put on those beats to re-release the album. Because the album, Heads Eye album, is not up for sale. It's just a single. Like Heads Eye did Silver here in England. Yeah, just England. But if you check the worldwide sales, or the US sales combined with the sales outside of the US, then we'd have done, crazy numbers.
It's a lot of numbers.
Lot of numbers. But because there are so many different compilations, that these hit songs come out on. Zim Zimmer, Heads Eye, the big tunes, the Bounty Killers, the Beanie Mans. They're on so many different compilations that we didn't, and they didn't accumulate all the sales. Or SoundScan all the sales.
So let's talk about that. You're re-recording your 1998 album Heads High, which was released on a few different labels, like the singles and that. I know recently there's been a lot of artists that have been re-recording to take back the ownership. I mean, just kind of give some gems why that's important to an artist that's been deep in the game.
Well, I personally learned it from Taylor Swift. I saw her, I saw her documentary on it or whatever she was released of her, the information. And, I realized it was a good idea. Yeah. For artists who are still able to sing back their songs, because some artists, the voice is not there like before. But if you're able to, it's important. So you can at least, that's something that you can leave for your children, or your estate. Yeah. It's just like Bob Marley children, they bought back his masters, they bought back his work. And that's the reason why they're still able to control his music to this day. If they had sold his music to the highest bidder, then the Marley brothers and sisters, they would not have that Bob Marley legacy to preserve. I notice people complain and be like, oh, Bob Marley's always winning the Grammys, or his children are always winning the Grammys or stuff like that. But I do not understand that the children, their work is catalog. And that is very important. Work in the catalog, remixing the songs, remastering the songs, re-recording the songs, promoting Bob Marley worldwide. And that is something, instead of artists looking at it, oh, Bob Marley is always, or his children are always being nominated or selected for the Grammys. Look at your legacy and what you can do to preserve your legacy, and how your children can take your music and remix it and remaster it and get people to redo it. And that is what Bob Marley children are doing, because they own the master.
Let's talk about the legacy of your signature song that really kind of like took you to another level, Heads High, released in 1998, Filthy Rhythm.
Right.
Talk to us about the legacy of that song, man, how you feel like it's done for your career and how it still stands now.
When I did Nike here, my first big tune, I just knew that I had to get like a big international tune to become like a household name, to become someone that people can know worldwide for music. How I can get the big boss then, when people say a boss, So when I recorded Heads High for Danny Brownie, we instantly, he said in the studio in front of General Degree, and all the artists were in the studio, and he was like, yo, this is the biggest tune on the rhythm. And as a little young artist hearing that, and from such a prominent producer, I just realized that, something is special. So the song came out, and the song became a hit in like 1 week. As it dropped, it just popped. So to see so many people doing versions of it, and remixing it and remaking it, and Latinos artists and the biggest of biggest artists are sampling it, and it's just like a great feeling, man.
Heads high, killing with a no, just make a boy know you're not blow. I feel like there was a lot of people that sang those lyrics,
right,
enjoyed the song,
right.
But do you feel like the message kind of went over people's heads?
Well, this is the thing about 90s, 2000 dancehall. It wasn't so much about what we were saying per se, but it was more about the melody and the beat, and people just found themselves singing. However, for Heads High and most of these songs, even though there are certain topics or maybe taboo or stuff like that, there is a message there though. There's always a message. So it's like Heads High saying, don't just stoop low, don't just go blow to achieve in life. Work for what you want. Be independent. Don't make a boy style you up. Don't make a boy call you yo. You know them type of things. So the lyrics is basically uplifting. So that's why it worked, because women felt good listening to it. Like yo, them not have to go, whatever to achieve. Them can work them way up, and that is what we were promoting.
Let's not get it twisted. That is the politically correct way of talking about. Hold your head high, but at the same time, just make a boy know you're not blow. You know what I'm saying? It's like
yeah.
Let's not get it twisted, Mr. Vegas.
No. It has to be twisted a little bit to get the real understanding. It's a skin you teeth, if you're sure from your boss, you never do it. And if you can one man you keep. You see? So you're not a hoe.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? You make your vow, you answer to yo. Because like a guy say a girl, hey girl, come here.
Yeah.
You know? One man a sample your chow chow.
Real talk.
Yeah. So them type of message in it, you know, smell green like Charlene, that mean you have good hygiene and them things. So, yeah. But of course, back in the days in Jamaica, you know, that was a big topic.
Of course.
Say, all of them man, them when a bow, put up your hand, even when every bow cat, be a bow cat, not a dance, them still put up them hand. Yes.
Lord have mercy.
But we have come a long way because now people singing songs that girls must, you know, give that get big forward. You know,
It's changed.
Dance.
It's not taboo anymore.
Yeah, I remember one time I did a song, and there was a little lyrics in there that, you know, about, you know, some whatever. And they, when I went to perform it in Ochi Rias, the people, the whole club like boo, you know, and I was like, whoa, you know, because they were not ready for that type of lyrics yet. But no, yo, it's like a whooping dance now. Yes,
Head side on the filthy rhythm, an iconic rhythm as well. I'm going to put you on the spot right about now, and I feel like your answer to this might change week by week, but right about now, can you name 3 of your favorite rhythms off the top of your head and why?
Whoa. One of my first one is Pepper Seed Rhythm from Dave Kelly. It just does something to the whole, you know, atmosphere. You know, just the sound of it, you know, and it has that nostalgic feeling when you hear it. You know, so Pepper Seed Rhythm and all the songs and the rhythm was just big tunes.
What was your favorite ones?
Terror Fabulous. Yeah, Terror Fabulous, I think, had 2 songs on the rhythm. And the 2 of them, you know, were like my favorite songs because I'm a big Terror Fabulous fan.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Terror Fabulous, man.
It just was his melodies and stuff like that. And then we have Punani Rhythm is a big rhythm too. The reason why that's on my list in the top 3 is because it has lasted so long.
Yeah,
and it
iconic.
keeps going. Even to this day, you can sing a song on Punani Rhythm and it's still boss. Yeah.
What's one of your favorites on Panani Rhythm?
One of my favorite songs on it, maybe the remix with me and Sean Paul, Hot Girl Today. But Beanie Man, oh na 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 na, yeah.
For me, it's Shabba Ranks, Can't Done still.
Shabba Ranks, big tune. And even Admiral Bailey.
Oh, of course.
Back in the days, give me Punani.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's like number 1 on it. Yeah, and then we have like the Love Bump rhythm. If we can call it dancehall.
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite, you know, reggae dancehall rhythm too.
Name a couple tunes off the rhythm you like.
Well, the Sanchez, definitely. When I read it, when your legs don't work like they used to before, then you have, you gonna get rougher yet. All them tunes, big tunes.
Big rhythms,
but
man.
The Sanchez, on that
That's
beat,
that's the signature one.
Jaja. Yeah.
Mr. Vegas is here, man. Listen, an icon of reggae dancehall music. So many bangers, man. You just have to look at the catalogue. But I feel like maybe newer audiences that aren't as aware of Mr. Vegas, how do you introduce yourself to newer audiences?
Well, boom. You just say, yo, all who love dancehall music, you know, I am dancehall. Yeah? If you grew up listening to dancehall, your mother, father, you know, maybe you know, was created on a dancehall rhythm. Maybe broke it down. You see?
For real. Do you feel like you have a fight for that King of Dancehall title? Is that something you're interested in?
It's different levels, you know. It's different levels. Like some artists are so iconic where I don't even put myself in the conversation. If we're talking about regions, you know, then it's a whole different argument. If we're talking about King of Jamaica, it's a whole different argument. So I don't use the word King of Dancehall lightly because there are so many qualifications, or so many prerequisites that I think you must have to be the King of Dancehall.
Straight.
Yeah, I think you know, the requisite, you know, you have to be a great stage performer. You know, and when I look at the great stage performer, that is number 1 on my list. If you can sing a song in the studio and you're not good on stage, you're not good on stage, and you can't be the dancehall king for me. And that's just me, just me as an artist growing up, looking at Lieutenant Stitchy and Shabba ranking them on stage, and Ninja Man them and Beanie Man and Buju Banton and the greats, you know. They're always like great performers. You know, so that is number 1 criteria for me. When it comes down to King. And of course, if we're talking about region, like King of Jamaica, dancehall, you know, is a different argument from King of Dancehall worldwide. Because you have to understand, it's not many artists, dancehall tunes are known worldwide to the dancehall massive. Some songs, you know, you go someplace, you don't hear them. So we sometimes we fool ourselves and sometimes we undermine the people that we go certain places and hear them songs.
Real talk.
You understand? So we have to be. I am not the one who run out and label people and try to take away whatever man says his own. But in my opinion, yeah, different regions and different levels to it. Different levels to it.
Indeed. I was having a very interesting conversation with Cranium the other day in what qualifies as a crossover dancehall hit. Because there's a lot of bangers, there's a lot of bubblers, there's a lot of songs that make noise, but an actual crossover dancehall hit. In your opinion, what do you think qualifies as that?
The songs that goes into the British chart or goes into the Billboard charts. A song that when you go into the Yankee club them or you go into the pop British clubs them, you know them Saturday night, Friday night clubs.
Yeah.
When you go into
You sound like
clubs,
you've been to a few of them.
Yeah, man. when you go into the clubs, we know the crossover songs because we've been on the road for a minute. Like Mr. Vegas maybe have 1 or 2 songs or maybe 3 in them crossover clubs.
Yeah.
And you go in them clubs, you
I'm
hear.
saying that there's quite a few that you have still.
Right, but in the heart of that market is like you hear Shaka Demos and Pliers. You hear Beanie Man like you know 2 songs for sure. Zim Zimmer and Romy for sure.
Wayne Wonder's got some bangers as well.
Wayne Wonder, No Letting Go. Sean Paul King. Yeah. Sean Paul is the king of that world.
Cartel's got quite a few as well.
Cartel have Fever. Yeah, that's the one you will hear. And you know who? Charlie Blacks.
Yeah.
He's a youth where when you go to the spots them, you hear Charlie Blacks 2, 3, 4 songs maybe from Charlie Blacks.
Real talk.
You know, so we have to. When it comes down to crossover, talking about crossover songs, it's very tricky because even me have I have songs that are big in the bass market. You know, but when you go to certain place, you don't hear it. I don't perform some of my songs that you would say is a big tune, like Girls Time, the sweetest time, when the song gone in. And I say, me not so kid, if you wear no name brand.
There's a time and a place for them.
Time and place. But Heads High, everywhere. I Am Blessed, everywhere. At Work, everywhere. Broke It Down, everywhere. Chilla la 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 la, boom boom chile, everywhere. Some gal raffle up on a deep regional hit. You see? So I measure the thing.
Listen, I want to talk about your track making, like sort of strategy when you're in the studio. You know, the writing, the melodies. Like, how does it go down in the studio? Is it something that occurs quite quickly, or is it something that takes a long time with loads of seasoning? Do you write down? Are you in the studio at night time? Is there loads of company in the studio? What's the process?
At first, in the 90s, 2000. Early 2000, we had the songs before we even got to the studio because we catch melody from I think just out the atmosphere out the ear and or the environment, and we already have songs like songs in our head or songs that was already written. So when we go to the studio, the thing with those beats back in the days, your song just fit on the beat. Because it's like you already know how to write a song to go, like you're hearing the beat on one side and you're writing the lyrics on one side of your brain. So that is how we used to write songs. I can guarantee you listen to a Shabba Rankin, who said that woman can done. That was not written in the studio. But if you listen to it, it sounds like it was written for the Punani rhythm. But the Punani rhythm been out long before Shabba Rank's bus. But you listen to it, it's like him riding the bass line. You see? So we just basically came up with melodies. I think it just out there hanging. And we just found the greatest melodies. And when we heard these beats, these 90s, 2000 dancehall beat, it's like the beat is just giving us melody as well. So even if we're not in the studio, we hear it in the dance. So you may be just in the dance and you're vibing and a song just come to your head. Because the selector says something.
Straight.
Like Hot Work. Is a selector said something to me at a ball. He say, you have a thing named Hot Work. Me in the dance. Selector say, pull up. Me make a song, circle the black in the drop top with the girl name at me. Pull up. My biggest song internationally is Pull Up.
Crazy.
And it's in the dance. The DJs them. So we basically get the inspiration back in the days growing up. Or Take For Yourself is a dance. You them do a dance and I say, yo, the dance bad. Everybody start take for yourself. Man the rhythm and just work. Gallus is a dance. Man a Gallus. And the youth them a dance and I say them a go so. And I said that, bud.
Crazy.
Yes, I.
What are some of the biggest hurdles that you faced in your music career, would you say? Because I know like you've definitely been out here for quite a few years. I'm sure there's quite a few things that you've seen and things that you've looked at as a challenge. What are some of the biggest music hurdles you faced?
I think it has always been like a challenge for me just to even get on the hot rhythms. In
Really?
dancehall.
Yeah?
Right. If you notice all the hot beats that I've managed to get on, like there's a hit song. So if you check out even Duale Rhythm, I was like the third person to record on Duale Rhythm, but then politics in the music get involved, and my song did not come out. Yeah. Enough Rhythm that came out, and I was not on those beats. And I'm quite sure because every song on the Duale Rhythm was a hit. And them time there, I think I was an artist with, that knew how to make a dancehall hit.
It's sounding like you feel like you was blackballed or there was some real
Yeah, man, was a whole
agenda
that, man.
against
Whole
you.
that, man.
How? Why?
That was because one, I think just industry players, of course, and some people think that you don't deserve it. Yeah. So and in this industry named dancehall, if you didn't come through certain ranks or you did not team up with certain people, or if you not give certain people credit for make you who you are, then it comes like it's a fight because people love to be glorified, People love to be praised. You understand? So because I was one of the artists that did it myself, did it my way, and it just never work out. Just like like Alkaline. If you notice Alkaline, him just go through his way. Yeah? And him get a lot of fight feet because him not really glorify certain, individual or certain aspect of the music, so. That was similar to my journey back in them days. But it was great that we overcome and because we never take it for granted. I did not take it for granted. That's why I was able to carve out so much tunes. Like I Am Blessed is just telling me that, no matter the hurdles I'm still blessed. Because I grew up in a little board house, poor, never have like electricity and inside toilets and kitchen. We used to have kitchen outside, bathroom outside the house, board toilet. So just being able to sing music and can tour the world, that in itself is a blessing.
For real, man.
So I Am Blessed just seal that, and no hurdles couldn't stop that.
Straight. Not to get into your business, but you definitely spoke about re-recording your Heads High album to, take back ownership and, get the residuals and kind of definitely make sure that you see the benefit off of that. What are some of the best investments that you feel like you've made within your music career that you can maybe, teach other artists as well about?
Just producing myself, like She's a Hoe is my production. Broke It Down is my production. Sweet Jamaica is my production and Voices of Sweet Jamaica. So the songs that I've managed to own the masters, they're my production from early out. Yeah, so I was able to reap the benefits from those productions and being able to control, what happens with those songs.
So that is some of the best financial
within
business.
the music, in the music. Outside of the music is like real estate and all them things. Outside of the music.
You've been busy in that, yeah?
Yeah. And I wish I'd started earlier or was more knowledgeable, more cognizant of the things that the perks, and the benefits. Like when I came on the scene 27 years ago, making money. When I started making real money 20 years ago, land was selling cheaper. I should have just buy a whole heap more land. Because now I see people hunting land, and I realize that, I could have get some cheap land them time here. So those are the things, but we're still able to grab a few pieces, and it was worth it.
Definitely reigning supreme from the 90s, the noughties, the teenies till now.
Yes, sir.
And don't get it twisted, the versatility, man. You might hear him do a one-drop thing,
yes,
and you definitely might hear him on a reggaeton and an EDM thing as well.
Soca.
More recently, Soca as well. You had the
Yes,
EP, of course.
Yes,
so talk to us, man, because I want to talk about the fact that you've been doing some of this like EDM and reggaeton stuff, and you've been collaborating with these producers. Like, talk to us about the reason and like how this happened, man. How this came about.
I just think traveling the world and just meeting new producers and different producers, and trying to do music that if I go to Reunion Island of, you know, like a French territory, you know, there's a song there that may never play in Jamaica, but it's a big tune there on an EDM beat. So I keep expanding my catalog or my music to different regions or different genres. So, you know, it may strike, I may go to Africa.
It's strategic.
And I have the biggest tune in Africa, you know. And one artist I noticed that I think is deliberate in doing that is Anthony B. Because I've gone to Kenya and Anthony B has like the biggest tune. Like the people were just going mad. And I was like, which tune is that? Never heard it before. The biggest tune in Kenya. Yeah.
What's your take on the current state of reggae dancehall?
I think there's a decline in the production out of Jamaica. So when it comes down to reggae, you find like more bands from the West Coast in the US and Europe maybe doing reggae than Jamaican artists. I think it's not selling. You know, reggae music is not selling because it's not playing in Jamaica. Yeah. So we're not connecting with the international audience to get sales. Yeah. So I think we're not selling when we put a reggae album out or a reggae tune out. It doesn't sell as much as the dancehall tunes, and the dancehall tunes they're not even selling as much. Yeah. And our stream numbers, you know, outside of maybe Shensia and still Sean Paul, you know, Shensia number is decent because I think she's on a major. Sean Paul is one of our top sellers. Shaggy, his music is more like pop music, you know, if I may. So I just think we're not producing enough dancehall and reggae music, authentic dancehall and reggae music. So that's the reason why I'm in the studio now trying to put forward more dancehall sounding music that can get back on the radio. Song like Alive, you know, year 2025, the new song that I released. It's like straight dancehall, and you can dance to it.
Yes.
And that is what I think is missing. Because you can't say it is dancehall if you can't dance. You see? Because dancehall was created for the music to play. So if we actually started calling the music dancehall, it's because we could dance to it. So if you can't dance to it, you can't call it dancehall. You see? You have to call it what it is. You see? So that's why we're in the studio working on this new project. In a new album to drop, you know, with 90s, 2000s sound in dancehall.
That's going to be the core of the project, yeah?
Yeah, like majority of the project. You know, we're going to drop in a two little new Spice Night and Ray Ray. Yeah, not Spice the artist. New mixes.
New ingredients.
New ingredients, yeah. But majority, predominantly, dancehall.
Listen, we've had a great conversation today, man. We had a great conversation. They say my interviews are hotter with Mr. Vegas.
Yes, I.
SK Vibemaker.